That'll be all around you right now, David, or no?
I'm just unmuted, so we're live.
Good evening. I want to welcome everyone to the Metroplex Board of Directors meeting for March 31st. We ask everyone who's on the call to please put themselves on mute so we don't have any unnecessary background noise. There's a lot of background noise from somebody right now, so if you could put yourself on mute, thank you, that's much better. If you want to make a motion or make a comment, please briefly introduce yourself and say it is Neil, or it is Ray, or it is Jamie, and to make the meeting go smoothly, and it helps us create the minutes of the meeting. So our first order of business tonight is the approval of the minutes of the January 13th meeting. I need a motion from one of the board members.
So
Thank you. Could you identify yourself? Please identify yourself just so we can make the minutes accurate.
Neil.
Thank you, Neil. We need a second.
Second, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. Any comments or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, we'll move to adopt the minutes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you very much. We have a busy agenda tonight. Our next item is the treasurer's report. Jamie, Karen is going to provide that tonight. Our board member, Karen ZW. Karen, you want to give us a brief treasurer's report?
So I would say that we have a high balance that we've had in the last 18 months, and I don't have the document. I have the draft of the of it in front of me, but I don't recall off the top of my head what it is. But I know that we're in a very good position. I know all the projects are moving along accordingly. And Jamie, if you could just use that number, I'd appreciate it.
Hello, Paul Webster.
Hi, Paul. We're underway. We're doing the treasurer's report. Again, if you're not speaking, please put yourself on mute.
Yeah, Karen was making reference that our cash on hand is at $3.82 million, which is the highest it's been in 18 months. So we're in very, very good position. Seem to be coming out of the woods nicely now.
Any other comments? Everyone has a copy of the report. Anyone have any comments or questions on the treasury report for Jamie or Maureen or Karen? Seeing none, we'll call the question. Adopted treasurer's report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We have a number of resolutions tonight. We start in the town of Rotterdam with a 200,000 square foot construction project. Resolution 1450-21, we ask Jamie to summarize.
Thanks, Ray. If you're looking at your PDF, it's on page 9 is the general project plan. This one came to the board back in late 2020. We held the public hearing in January. This is a Gillespie project in the Rotterdam Corporate Park, 200,000 square feet on 12 acres of land. Really spec warehousing building, which is a very active market that Gillespie is very bullish on. All the approvals are now in place. We were waiting for seeker to be completed by the town of Rotterdam's Planning Commission, which they did in early March. They provided a negative declaration. They reviewed issues like the storm drainage, traffic considerations, some landscaping. It's part of the park there, so everything really is very well accommodated. It's an $8.2 million project, and Metroplex's participation is an exemption on sales tax, mortgage reporting tax, and a pilot.
And the pilot starts at 50% in year 1. It goes up in 5% increments over 10 years. They're what they call the standard 485B pilot. We want to thank the Gillespie Group for making this investment in our county. Last year, despite the pandemic, over 250,000 square feet of new construction was completed at the Rotterdam Corporate Park. We quickly filled that space with 2 marquee tenants, Federal Express and Home Depot. And as Jamie said, this is 200,000 square feet that is literally beginning construction in the next day or two, because all approvals are in place, and we have strong interest in the building, where we have a number of tenants looking at it, and this continues the progress at the Rotterdam Corporate Park, which is the largest business park in the capital region, with almost 4 million square feet of space, and it's been a very active and successful part of our network of smart growth business parks in the county. So We need a motion on this, and I'm happy to have one of our Rotterdam members make that, and then a second.
Nancy, I'm moving.
Nancy will make the motion, and Mike, thank you for seconding it. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, go ahead.
This is Neil here. This is part where Rotterdam, correct? Is that what we're talking about?
Rotterdam Park, yep.
Okay, and you mentioned in here that he now has 12 million square feet. Does that include all three industrial parks?
Yes, the Gillespie Group, yeah, that includes all of their holdings in the region.
Does that make this the largest park system network in the state?
Well, they have their park in Guilderland, and in Schenectady County, of course, we have the Rotterdam Corporate Park, which is about 4 million square feet, and the Glenville Business and Technology Park, which is between 1.5 and 2 million square feet, someplace in there. So together, it's about 6 million square feet. It's a lot of real estate. Both parks are very successful. There are large business parks in some of the larger communities out in Western New York, downstate as well. But the Rotterdam Park at almost 4 million square feet is certainly one of the largest business parks in New York State.
How about Scotia?
Scotia, the Glenville Business and Technology Park, as we call it, is again between, I believe it's over 1.5 million square feet. I know it's definitely over 1.5 million. We've had a lot of activity there, and it's also a very successful park that we've redeveloped. Both were former military installations, as you know, Neil. And so together, we're talking about 6 million square feet of space.
We don't separate Brookfield from Scotia. They're funded the same.
The park is located in the town of Glenville.
Is Scotia separate?
No, yeah, there's no, one of the things we've done is rebrand these parks. The Glenville Park was mislabeled, the Scotia Glenville Industrial Park. We rebranded it as the Glenville Business and Technology Park. Similarly, the Rotterdam facility was the Rotterdam Industrial Park. We rebranded it as the Rotterdam Corporate Park. And the park is in Glenville, and so it's titled the Glenville Park.
Because I was confused. I thought we had parks. We actually only have two. Okay.
Well, we have our airport business park. We have in Glenville, we have the smaller new emerging airport business park in Duanesburg. We have the Niskayuna Commerce Park, which is another, we have a network of these business parks in the county.
All right. Sorry.
No, good questions. Any other questions? If not, we'll call the question on resolution 1450-21. Any other comments or questions? Happy to entertain any questions from the board. Seeing none.
Police is still hunting for tenants.
Yes, they're building it on spec based on our success, as I said, in leasing up 250,000 square feet last year, and we appreciate their investment.
Have they filled the 100,
Yes.
thing up?
Yeah, the park is about 98% full right now. The 250,000 square feet we built last year has been leased by FedEx and Home Depot, two marquee tenants.
Okay, so FedEx took over the service distribution.
No, they did not. No, that's another building we're working on that separately. This was a new building number 9 at the park. It's 250,000 square feet of new construction, and we filled it with those two tenants. We're still getting background noise from somebody. If somebody can please mute yourself until you're speaking, that would be very helpful. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. The motion passes. Next, we go to 2 resolutions dealing with reconciling and past projects, and we'll ask Gene to summarize.
Yeah, as you know, in March of just about every year, we have a whole variety of housekeeping measures. That's really what the rest of the agenda is about. So the next 2 resolutions cover issues that are part of our audit and our year-end statements. The memo's on page 13 in your package. This was reviewed by the Finance Committee at their most recent meeting. We call it the over-unders that are required for the audit. So we are closing, or now have closed with this resolution, 33 projects as of December 31st, 2020. 30 of them were under our budget, and as a consequence, we would roll $1.1 million into our general coffers. So that's money that we will use for other projects. There were 3 projects that were over budget. It's usually because of soft costs relating to the project, maybe our legal bills or other expenses. And those 3 were over budget by $79,683. So a fair amount of money is going back in for more project uses in Schenectady. So there were 2 different resolutions. Finance Committee recommended adoption of all.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
A motion, thank you. A second? Please identify yourself.
Second.
And who was that? Brad? Okay, thank you. And just a comment, I want to, again, when we bring these projects to the board, we estimate the expense, the size of the project. And I think this shows we do a good job of targeting those. Only 3 came in at a combined $70,000-$80,000 over, and then 30 came in, and we're returning $1 million to the Treasury tonight. We thank the Finance Committee and Jamie and everyone involved for their good work. Any comments or questions on the motion in a second?
Yeah, I think this is extraordinary considering everything that's going on in the world. Of course, the big number here is that SI did not move as the plan to do. The people reneged the deal to close, so all that 461 comes back.
Yep. Yeah, we worked very hard on that, as everyone knows, and they wound up staying at their current location, which was also a win for the community. So, any other comments? That's a very good point. Thank you, Neil. Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll call the question on the first motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then we need a second companion resolution on the same subject. Can I get a motion on that, please?
It's Karen, so moved.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks for your work on this as well. Can I have a second, please?
Second, Lewis.
Thank you, Brad. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to adoption of the audit, and we'll ask Jamie to give us an update.
So the audit committee received a presentation on Monday from Jonathan Gibbs from BST. The committee has approved the audit, the 2020 audit, recommended its adoption by the board for the 21st straight year. It's a clean and unqualified audit. There were no disagreements with Metroplex management. I want to thank Maureen for all her work that she's done over the last couple of months on this. Bob Crystal, who was very heavily involved as well. But it's a clean audit. It gets posted on our website and gets sent to the authority's budget office. But like every year, it's a good picture of the authority and what's going on, and a clean audit again.
So we thank the audit committee. We'd like a motion from the audit committee if we can.
I would make it the Todd.
Thank you, Todd. Thanks for your help. We need a second.
Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Any discussion?
I would say it's Karen. I'd just like to thank Maureen and BFT and Jamie. There was a lot of hard work and a lot of conversations around this audit. And coming out of the pandemic, I think this is a superior product and very much appreciated from the entire staff.
We thank you and the audit committee as well for your work. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the motion in the second resolution 1453-21, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We'll move that, and it is approved. Next up, we go to our 5-year capital plan, which is a requirement of the Metroplex statute. And we'd ask Jamie to summarize this resolution for us.
Right. This is another statutory mandate. Needs to be done every March. It has been reviewed by the governance committee and recommended for adoption. We had a public hearing on March the 3rd, received no comments about the 5-year plan. We did send it out to a few people in the community that were interested in it. It gets posted on our website, gets sent to the county legislature. And as you know, it focuses on our parking assets. So the report reflects some potential improvements, repairs, maintenance that can be done on our surface lots and on the Broadway garage. The adoption of the 5-year capital project plan, though, doesn't bind the board to moving ahead with any particular investment or work that's identified in the report, but we meet the statutory obligation.
And I briefed the county legislature on this when we presented our annual report as well. Can I have a motion on this, please?
So move, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. Can I have a second, please?
Karen, I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none.
Just a
Sure.
general question, Nathan. Put all the community, do I get the feeling that Schenectady do the best job keeping the order of the public? Any comments that you guys?
You know, you're kind of breaking up on us there. Could you repeat that? I couldn't make out all of it. I'm sorry.
Sure. In terms of capital region, I kind of get the feeling that Schenectady does a really good job of keeping up on our park facilities.
Yes, I mean, Jamie does a fantastic job, and Last Parking does a great job. Last year, despite the pandemic, we were able to roll out the Passport, app for parking, which has been very successful. Our parking lots are well maintained and staffed by Laz, and the parking garage, we continue to invest in the lots and in the garage. I know in some communities there have been issues with the parking garages. I think it's a very good point, Neil. And in fact, there was legislation passed at the state level, Jamie, or the federal level,
Yeah, state level.
so that everyone who operates a parking garage now has to file a report on the condition of that facility, and ours is in very good shape, but we continue to invest in it, and that's represented in this plan. So our parking assets are very important in downtown. We maintain them, we invest in them with the cooperation of the leadership of the board, and I appreciate that comment. I can't say enough about the good work that Jamie does and the last team to keep our parking system running smooth. And for people who may be watching or listening to the meeting, you can get information on Schenectady parking by going to parkschenectady.com, our website, which we do keep up to date and has a lot of good information on our parking assets. Any other questions on the capital plan? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We appreciate your support on that, and we'll move forward with the consent agenda, which is a number of items that have to be, and again, we appreciate everyone doing this meeting today. We needed to have the meeting and approve the audit and then submit it to the state by the deadline, which is today. And we have to file these policies and procedure statements with the state as well. And I asked Jamie to summarize the consent agenda.
Right, so as we do every year, most of our policies are required to be reviewed and readopted by the board. Again, this went through the governance committee, reviewed the policies. Everything is the same, nothing's really been changed. I made note of a new policy, the Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Business Goal Plan, SDVOB, which is really similar to our MWBE requirements. Again, it's a state requirement. For SDVOB, this is for veteran businesses that are certified by the state, veteran-owned businesses. The goal is 6% a year compared to MWB, our Minority Women Business Enterprise goal, which is 30% a year. We just received a report card from the state on our MWB compliance for last year. We got an A on the report card, so thanks to David and Mark for all their work and working with all of our businesses to make sure we comply. And like I said, the goal for SDVOB is 6%. Otherwise, the reports and the policies, as Ray said, get posted on the website, get sent to the ADO, and so we're kind of ready to go. It's been reviewed at the committee level, so this would be done as one motion and second to approve the batch here.
And they're the same policies with that one,
Yeah.
when change noted. Again, really want to thank David and Mark for the outstanding work on our successful implementation of the MWBE program, and we look forward to this additional requirement. Any other comments or questions? We need a motion on this, correct? Jamie?
I move, Sharon.
Thanks, Sharon. We need a second.
It's Karen, I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of adopting the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Appreciate there's a lot of time and effort that has to go into meeting all of these state requirements. I would like to point out that Metroplex has always submitted all of the required reports that to the state in a timely manner. We've never been cited for being late with the report or being not fulfilling all of the reporting requirements, which are substantial, and the credit to that does not go to me by any means. It goes to Jamie and our very outstanding staff for all their hard work in submitting these reports and getting them in on time. Thank Mark and David and Jennifer, Maureen, everybody involved with the completion.
Everybody is involved with it.
Yes, it's a very comprehensive effort. So thank you.
Gold star.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's very good. And the compliance is very severe now. The state authorities budget office, is very stringent in oversight of authorities. So this is very important to us. That completes our formal agenda. Any comments from the board on any subjects? This would be the time to make those comments.
Okay, Karen.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just want to, congratulate the entire team. It's been a trying year, and I said it earlier with this audit and everything that has to endure during this past year. Everyone in the team has done a fabulous job, and I can't commend them enough on, doing a fabulous job in a very, very difficult time frame. So, and having this done, the audit done and all of the due diligence necessary to the state by the end of this month is just fabulous. So I commend you all, and you've done a fabulous job. So thank you.
Thank you. Very nice comments. And any other comments from the board on any other subjects? If not, go ahead, please make your comment. Thank you.
I just had a question. We got a very packet of stuff, including the 20-month mission statement. Will we deal with that, or is that, not sure where that fits, where we?
Yeah, the audit was part of the package. Copies of all the policies were part of the package. Again, since everything was reviewed at the committee level, we didn't want to sort of send in the mail everything, but you do have access to it. And it's all on our website as well, Neil. So, we have two years worth of everything on the website, so it can be reviewed at any time. I know Bob Dietrich had given us a tip on one of our policies that wasn't on the website correctly, so we made that change. So, thanks to the staff and to the committee for just making sure everything's on the up and up here.
And again, just for anyone who might be listening from the public, the policies were the investment policy, how we deal with, with our finances and how we invest, proceeds of the sales tax, how we deal with the property disposition policy, our procurement policy, our MWBE policy, our service disabled veteran-owned business policy, which is new, and our general operating and financial guidelines, as well as our financial assistance policy and guidelines for the sale and reporting of bonds and notes, as well as our audit. So it's basically the generic policies that govern the operation of the authority, and they were adopted as standard, operating procedures as part of the consent agenda tonight. Any other questions from the board or comments? Seeing none, we can take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. And we need a second on that.
I'll second it. Ray, don't we have the annual meeting resolution?
part of the consent agenda.
That was part of the consent agenda,
Oh,
Sharon.
was part of the consent decree. Okay, thank you.
Our next meeting is April 14th. Please, Jennifer will be getting you a notice, and we look forward to meeting in person as soon as we possibly can. And we wish everyone well and have a good evening and a blessed Passover and Easter to everyone. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Night.